Hi everyone, hope you're all well. My name's Paul, this is my wife Marilena. We're going to be teaching some Pilates today, 30-minute class, quite basic, but we're going to move quite quickly so it should feel quite challenging once you're warmed up. So you will need a towel if you need something underneath the head, a towel folded. Also, if the hamstring's a bit tight, a large book, thick book for you to sit on to help you with those hamstrings, So we're going to start in a seated position. We're going to do some breathing. So let's switch around, Marilena. So toes are pointing forward. We're going to be sitting on our little block, So that's going to give us some elevation. Obviously, if you've got a yoga block, you could use a yoga block if you've got one, otherwise a thick book. So we are lengthening through the spine. So straight away, there's a gentle lift through the abdominals. We are relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, creating a long spine. We're going to just gently roll through the spine, just rolling through one vertebrae at a time, peeling our spine away from an imaginary wall. We're going to stay there, 2 breaths, focusing the breath into the back and sides of the ribs, blowing the air out through the mouth. So the breath goes into the back and the sides of the ribs, and then we're going to roll back up 1 vertebrae at a time. Feel the way the lift through the abdominals gives us strength and support. And again, little head nod to initiate the movement. We roll through the spine. We breathe deep into the back and sides of the ribs. Exhale, we stay there. 1 more breath. Fill the lungs with air. Then as we exhale, we roll back up. Feel the support through the abdominals to restack the spine. We breathe. And again, as we exhale, we roll away 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. Real deep breath. Try not to breathe into the tummy. Good, so quite difficult to belly breathe in that position. As we roll up, imagine there's a wall behind you, you're rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. From there, we're going to come down onto our back now so we can get rid of the book or the block. Good. We're lying on our back. So, because Marilena's perfect, obviously. She doesn't really need anything under the head. If she was slightly head forward, then it's a good idea to put something underneath the head, just so your eye line is directly up towards the ceiling, so the neck and spine are in good alignment, But I'm going to move that out of the way because she doesn't really need that. So we're just going to find the neutral position of the pelvis, just tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. Notice the way the spine moves there as she tilts the pelvis forwards and backwards. So we're going to settle in a neutral position, just maintaining our neutral position. So I can now slide my fingertips under the small of the back. So you should be able to slide, do you want to just do that for me? Should be able to slide the fingertips under the small of the back. That's our neutral position. We're going to stay there, holding that neutral by drawing up through the pelvic floor. We're going to take a breath into the back and sides of the ribs. As we exhale, the right leg comes up, the knee goes over the hip, without moving the pelvis or losing that gap under the small of the back. And then we float the leg down. Good, and again, so what's making this challenging is that stabilization of the pelvis. So we're not letting our pelvis move, controlling it as we lower, and again, breathing out as we lift, controlling it as we lower. Let's do 1 more each side, maintaining that pelvis, controlling it as we lower, and the last one, and we can place the foot down. Good. So that was stabilization. Now we're going to work a little bit more on the abdominals, but in order to do this, we need to imprint the spine. So we're bringing the ribs and pelvis closer together now, pressing the back into the mat. And then as we inhale, we can let the spine come back to neutral. So rib cage and pelvis comes closer together. That pushes the back to the floor. Inhaling. So we're using our oblique abdominals to do this. Last one, we're going to stay there, holding that position. Right leg comes up. Left leg, so lower back is supported by the mat. On the exhale, the toe goes down, inhale. So try not to bend the knee any more than it is, The movement is coming purely from the hip. No movement in the knee stays at 90 degrees. If you feel that this isn't really challenging the abdominals, then try and reach the foot a little bit further down the mat. Good, exhale, take it down. Inhale as we come back, nice and controlled. We're going to do 1 more each side. Good, and last one. We're going to stay there, holding that position. We're squeezing the legs together, floating the arms up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades are flat on the back, lower back is imprinted. We're rotating our knees slightly over to the side. Take the feet as well. Exhale to center. Inhale as we rotate. We don't move the arms stay still. Exhale, we center. So we're only taking the knees about 30 centimeters, yeah, 6 inches. Exhale to center. Inhale as we take it away. Good. Keep those abdominals engaged. Exhale as we come back. And again, no movement through the arms. Exhale as we bring it back. One more like this. We take it away. And then we bring it back to center. Good. We're going to put one foot down and then the other, relaxing the neck and shoulders. We're going to go straight into a hip roll now, peeling the back away from the mat. So if you're using that towel under the head, we can take that out now. No cushions under the head. We don't want to push the chin into the chest. So from neutral, we're tilting the pelvis, peeling the back off the mat. Engage the glutes to lift the hips into bridge. Breath in there. Then roll the spine along the floor. Breath in. And again, tailbone tucks under. We're peeling the spine off the mat. Breathe in, then try and roll your vertebrae along the mat till eventually we come back to neutral to breathe. Exhale, tailbone tucks under. Engage the glutes, push the hips to the ceiling, breathe. Exhale, rolling back down. We're going to do one more. Try and relax the chest. So as we come up, the shoulders are relaxed. We breathe in to lengthen the spine. Exhale, roll that upper back through the mat. Good, straight into a little preparation for abdominal work. Every time we lift the head, we have a little nod of the head, yeah? So just show me that little head nod, lengthening the back of the neck. Good. So as we do this, and now we can continue to come up, notice the way Marilena's neck is in good alignment. She's not straining the neck flexors. She's looking in between knees and belly button, not at the ceiling, and then rolling back down. So remember, you can put a cushion under the head for that, yeah? So we come up, we stay there to breathe, and exhaling as we slowly lower. So lengthen the back of the neck, articulate first 2 vertebrae, continue to come up. We're going to stay here on the inhale, and then as we breathe out, we lower. We're going to do one more. We're breathing in as we head nod, exhale to come up. We stay there. We're placing the hands behind the head to cradle the head. Still keeping the shoulder blades lifted. We're going to do a little bit of lateral movement now, just rotating to the right, reaching the right hand towards the right foot, and then we inhale as we come back. So we're breathing out to reach, inhale as we come back. And again, exhale to reach, inhale as we come back. Just squeezing that little muscle there, yeah? Lateral division of oblique. So hitting that oblique muscle, lateral movement. Make sure you get that side bend, yeah? Good, one more each side. We squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We come back to center, last one, we squeeze. We center, we're gonna come up a little bit higher without pulling on the head. Think ribs to pelvis, and then we can lower back down. Good, let's roll over onto our front. So, we're going to do a little preparation for any time we do a back bend now. So just working on the muscles in the upper back. So thumbs are by the ears, tip of the nose is on the mat. Again, pelvis is in neutral, yeah? So if you just relax for me, Marilena, show what happens. So the back will overarch, which is not a neutral position. So we need to tuck the tailbone under slightly so the pubic bone goes into the mat so the spine is more neutral. From there, we're going to nudge a little marble away with the nose, simultaneously drawing the shoulder blades down and back so the shoulder blades melt into the upper back. And then we lower back down. So we're not arching the lower back. As we come up, we're trying to articulate our mid-upper spine. Good. And then control it as we lower. So let's just do that on 2 breaths. Let's inhale as we come up. Reaching the chest away from the heels. Exhaling to lower back down with control. We'll do one more. Breathing in as we come up. Lifting, lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And then exhaling as we lower. Now we're going to put the hands under the forehead. So the body's in a straight line now, like a dart. So keeping the feet on the mat, we're taking a breath as we breathe out. We float the top of the head slightly off the mat. Inhaling as we come back down. And again, breathing out, feet length rather than lift. Inhale as we lower. And again, breathing out, belly button pulled towards the spine. Good, always a little gap under the tummy. Imagine you've got some eggshells under your belly button. You don't want to squash them. and we lower. Let's do 2 more. Breathing out, think length, not lift. Control it as we lower. And last one, we lift, 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 and we control it as we come back down. Good, good, good. We're coming up, we're sitting back over the heels, we're stretching that out for a moment. Little shell stretch. Good. So remember, you can straighten the arms there as well to get a little stretch through the shoulders. Yeah, try and create a curve in the spine. We're going to roll over onto our back. We're going to do some hundreds. Hey! So we're lying on our back. Again, you can put your towel under your head if you want to. Otherwise, no towel. So we're going to need some imprint here. We're going to imprint the lower back into the floor, ribs to pelvis. Let's start with the feet on the mat first. It's good to be keen. So we're in imprint. All the time keeping the abdomen flat. We're taking a breath. As we breathe out, we lift the head and shoulders. We're going to inhale to pump the arms. Exhale, we stay there. Again, big deep breath into back and sides of the ribs, blowing the air out through the mouth. So remember, we could stay here if you want to, yeah? Easier version. If we can keep this flat, then maybe we could think about lifting the right leg and then the left leg up into a tabletop. So this is more of an intermediate version. Again, you can see Marilena's abdomen's still flat. She's not popping it out. There's no tension in the lower back. We could make it tougher by extending the legs out at an angle again. The tummy's pulled in deep. The lower back is imprinted. We could do a bend and stretch where we press away. We inhale as we come back. Always breathing, always smiling. Good. And always counting is a good thing, because I'm not counting. How many is that? 25? Good. Good. We'll do one more, yeah? Breathe in, scoop and hollow. Let's bring the knees in. Let's lift up a little bit higher, and then we can relax back down. We can pull the knees into the chest just for a moment, just to stretch it out. Good. Let's extend the left leg. We'll take the left leg away. We'll drop it on the mat. Just a little stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. And then we'll swap it over. Let's do the other side. A little stretch, stretch, stretch. Good, so let's come up to a seated position. We're going to do a little bit of half roll back now. So we're reaching the arms forward, relaxing the shoulders, contracting the abdominals to look towards the toes. So from there, we're going to roll halfway back, maintaining that C curve. Inhale as we come forward. So as we roll away, we're maintaining that C curve, breathing in to come back. Good, always relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Nice controlled movement. So we're trying to keep that curve in the spine each time we go away. Good. Let's do 2 more like this. And last one. Good. Excellent. Now we're going to roll all the way down onto the mat. Dum, 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 dum. 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms are going out to the side. We're going to do some spine twist on the mat. So arms out to the side. Let's bend the knees. So we're keeping the palms. Shoulders stay on the mat. Knees together. We're just going to let the knees just drop over to our right, making sure we keep that left shoulder down. We take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to rotate the knees across. We stay here to breathe, and then exhaling as we rotate. Good, nice and controlled. Deep breath in when we get there, then exhaling as we take it across. Good, deep breath in when we're there, exhale as we take it across. So we're working through our rotation. Good, using the obliques, controlling it as we come back. Last one, and then we come back to center. Good, so we're going to do a little bit of dead bug now. We're going to imprint the back, the right leg comes up, then the left leg. Fingertips point towards the ceiling, shoulder blades are nice and flat on the back. We're going to extend opposite arm to leg. So right arm, left leg goes away, breathing in as we bring it back. And again, all the time, maintaining that lower back imprint. Inhale as we come back. So breathing out. Good. Always coming back to our tabletop position, pressing it away, and then control it as we come back. Good. So 2 more like this. Good. And try not to drop the leg too low. We take it away. Good. And now we're going to take the hands behind the head to cradle the head, lifting the head and shoulders. So now as the right leg goes away, the right elbow goes towards the left knee. Good. We inhale to come back. Then we go the other way, we rotate, we breathe in, and again, elbow towards opposite knee, control it as we come back. And again, little rotation, breathing in. So we could make this a little bit easier by working with the feet on the mat. Just show me the easier version. So elbow's going to go, so lifting that leg, elbow to knee, inhale to lower. So left elbow goes to right knee, inhale as we lower, right elbow goes to left knee. Easier version, yeah? It's quite a nice way to do it if you want, yeah? Just do one more each side, we reach, we bring it back, last one. Good, we're going to keep the feet down now, we're going to lift the upper body a little bit higher, we're reaching for the toes, we're doing a double leg stretch just with the arms. Reach for the forehead, bending the elbows, arms reach over the top of the head, we don't drop the body, we reach for our toes. And again, we reach, and then we take it around. Good, 2 more, exhale, we reach, we circle around. And again, we reach, we circle around. So if you knew the harder version, you could do it with the legs. We'll just do a couple, just showing that harder version. It's quite tough. Make sure you don't drop that upper body, yeah? Good, last one. And then we can put one foot down and then the other. Good, we're going to roll over onto our front. We're going to do some extension work. So when we did, at the beginning of the class, we did a little bit of a lift with the upper body, just working on our extension. That was a practice for what we're going to do now. So we're going to do the breaststroke swim. Pelvis is in neutral, legs are together. Remember, if you can't maintain neutral, take the feet slightly apart. We're going to float the arms off the mat first. That's our start position to breathe in. On the exhale, we're hitting a straight line. And as we inhale, we're opening, lifting the chest away from the floor. And again, exhale, hit that straight line. Inhale, open and lift the chest off the mat. And again, we hit that straight line. We open and lift the chest. Nice controlled movement. We reach forward. We breathe in to lift. Good. Always hit that straight line and then go for that contrast. 2 more. So it's a straight line and then a back bend. Make sure we don't throw the head back. No wrinkles in the back of the neck. We lift, we hold, and we can relax. Good. We'll come up, we'll sit back over the heels, stretching that out for a moment. Nice little stretch, stretch, stretch. Just releasing any tension. Good, so while we're here, we'll do a little bit of 4-point kneeling just to finish off, yeah? So, spine in neutral. So remember, if you take a little cat stretch there, if you round the spine, and then you reverse the cat stretch, so go through neutral and reverse, then our neutral position is in the middle of those 2 positions, yeah? So, a little bit deeper, yeah? So we're in neutral, so release. There we go. Top of the head, reach away from the toes. We're going to keep that completely still as we extend the opposite arm to leg. Right arm, left leg reaches away, the glute engages, and then we bring it back. So this torso doesn't move, it stays completely still, breathing in as we bring it back. Think of your torso as a strong rectangular box. It does not move. Only movement is through opposite arm and leg. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, always lifting through the abdominals. Good, nice and controlled. Breathing out as we take it away, inhaling as we bring it back. Last one, we're going to reach away, we're going to stay here, holding this position. From there, we're going to lift the toe of that right foot slightly off the mat to challenge our balance. Keeping the lift in the abdominals, making sure we're not sitting into the shoulder. Now we can do the other side. So let's extend on the other side. Good. Just be aware of that supporting shoulder. Yeah? Nicely stabilized. We're not sinking into the shoulder. We're lifting our toes slightly off the mat, pulling up through the abdominals all the time. And now we can sit back over the heels. We can stretch that out for a moment. Nice little stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. So let's reach the arms forward and we'll do a little shell stretch there. So we're sitting back over the heels. We're going to let both hands go slightly over to the right. And we're going to reach that left hand forward a little bit. So left hand creeps forward, increasing the stretch down the left hand side of the lower back. So really getting deep into that lower back. Now we're going to go the other way. Good. And now the right hand reaches slightly forward to increase the stretch down the right hand side of the lower back. So we're getting that deep stretch into the QL, yeah? Then we come straight back to our center. We're going to come up onto all fours. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, tuck the knees under, toes under rather. And then rocking the weight back. Good, just sitting back over the heels, just rolling back up, yeah. and then rolling up through that spine, one vertebrae at a time. Good, good, good. So let's do a little balance to finish. We're standing nice and tall, lengthening through. So when we're in this, I'm going to move the camera so you can see what we're doing. So Marilyn is standing nice and tall, thinking about that posture, lengthening through the spine. So pelvis is in neutral, hips, ribs, shoulders, head, all balanced nicely on top of each other. There's an imaginary string lifting us towards the ceiling. As we breathe in, we're going to float the arms up towards the ceiling, hands are in peripheral vision. That imaginary string lifts us onto our toes. We continue to go up and up, even though the heels are returning back down into the mat, and we'll stay this tall for the rest of the week. Thank you very, very much for your hard work. Well done. Good, 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 good. Stay safe.